Alright guys, this is a demo of the Maxon AD9 analog delay. I actually have the original box here. And yeah, this is a reissue of the original Ibanez AD9 analog delay from the 1980s, which for those of you who don't know, Maxon is the original contracted manufacturer who made pedals for Ibanez back in the 1980s. So they were the original manufacturer for Ibanez pedals. Now they make their own pedals. And yeah, it's essentially using the exact same parts, same circuit as the original Ibanez 89 from the 80s. So these days, I believe if Ibanez makes a reissue, it's basically using cheaper components and cheaper parts. Maxon usually uses higher quality parts compared to Ibanez, which is why they usually cost more. But you know, I think it's worth it, so that's why I usually get Maxon instead of Ibanez, because I believe that the quality is a bit better than Ibanez. You know, hence why they cost more. And yeah, just test out this delay. I used to have the Boss DM2W delay, so I wonder how this compares to that. I used to have the Wazacraft Boss DM2W, so I think this is fairly similar in terms of a sound profile. It's not a bright delay, it's like more of a warmer delay, which is basically what my Boss DM2W was as well. And I kind of wanted to have something similar, but a little bit different from my Boss DM2W. So anyways, yeah, let's test out the delay. So first of all, this is my clean tone. It's kind of like this. I'm using a Fender Stratocaster into a Milkman 1 Watt Plus, which is a Fender style amp. So it's very clean and clear like this. That's the sound of the Fender Stratocaster with the delay bypassed. Of course, it's true bypass, as all Maxon pedals are. So yeah, we're going to start off with, so by the way, there's 3 tone knobs here, or 3 control knobs, I should say. Delay time, repeat, and delay level, pretty basic stuff. So yeah, delay time will, of course, control the length of the delays. The repeats control how often they repeat, and the delay level is how loud the delays are in terms of output. So yeah, fairly simple controls, I'd say. And of course, just like all Maxon pedals as well, it's built really well, and it's basically nigh indestructible, as those of you who know the vintage Ibanez pedals are still functioning today, right? They're just built really well, kind of like just like Boss pedals. Basically, a lot of Japanese pedals are just built pretty well. So yeah, I'm gonna start off here with the this is basically just very short delay time, almost like a slapback. So it's very similar to like a reverb at this setting. As you hear. Subtle delay right now, and it's adding a bit of warmth, I noticed. So this is like without it, right? And with it on. I noticed it adds a bit of warmth to it, but it's a very subtle delay sound right now. So yeah, right now it's set to about 9, so you're not getting too much delay. So yeah, that's why you only hear a very subtle effect right now. So by the way, this has 450 milliseconds of delay on tap, so it's not like the, it's not going to give you as much as a digital delay. Of course, this is an analog delay, but it's also not going to give you as much as yeah, some of the newer analog delays. Or even, you know, the Boss DM2W, which I had before, which in the custom mode, it gave me like 600 milliseconds, I think. So yeah, it's not going to give me that much, but that's because this is kind of like a reissue of a vintage analog delay pedal. But 450 milliseconds is still enough, I think, for most people. Yeah, like for me, I don't need a delay with a really lengthy delay time or anything like that. I just want to have a good sounding delay with a nice tone. So I think that's what this is, and 450 milliseconds should be enough for most people still. So yeah, that's set to about 9. If I turn it up to about 12, so right now I have repeat and delay level all set to about noon. So then you guys can see what that looks like. Definitely you can hear it more noticeably now. Definitely more of a warmer delay. So yeah, I would say pretty similar to the Boss DM2W, maybe more so, yeah, or the Boss just DM2, probably more similar to that than compared to say the MXR Carbon Copy, which is, or the Way Huge Octopus. Those are two other pretty famous analog delays, but that's kind of a different tonal spectrum, I would say. These Japanese delay pedals like the Maxon, the Boss, to me, they sound a little bit darker and warmer. I think delay for me is kind of useful because a reverb really is just kind of like a light slapback delay almost. It's a very subtle effect. A delay is not as if you turn it up high, of course. If you turn it up to about here or higher, then it's going to be noticeable, more noticeable than a reverb, or more noticeable than a typical reverb, I should say. So I think that's where delays can come in handy, is they can add even more ambience, a more noticeable type of ambience than a reverb can, or if you're looking for a specific type of effect, of course. So yeah, that's all the controls at noon. I can turn the repeats down and the delay level down, so you guys hear that. Noticeable anymore because I turned it down. I turned it up higher to like full delay level. So definitely you guys can hear it. That's a much more like in the mix basically. And then that's with lower repeats. If I turn up the repeats, way too crazy actually if you turn up the repeats too much. It just self-oscillates into infinity. I can't see myself using the repeat for higher than this. This is like, if you go beyond this, it's just too crazy. Yeah, that's already kind of too much. That's already kind of too much. So yeah, I'm going to leave the repeat about noon because yeah, it's turning it. I just can't see myself using too much of the repeats. It just gets too crazy. But let's turn up the delay time. We can turn it up like this. noticeable it gets. All right, turn everything except for the repeats up. Of delay here. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, you would not want to turn this up to full. Yeah, so yeah, probably not want to turn the repeats up to full. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys, obviously, as you turn the knobs up, it gets more and more noticeable. If you turn the knobs down, it's going to be more subtle. So that's really how delay works. And yeah, I'm going to just leave it at noon and play something. Basically, you would use the delay, at least this is how I would use it, is to add a little bit more ambience than a more noticeable ambience than a reverb would. So yeah, that's basically, and then of course you could add, you know, to more guitar solos and stuff, you can add a bit more tonal palette with delays. With overdrive, it seemed more emphasized. Yeah, it's a pretty useful effect, I would say. I think it's probably one of the most useful modulation effects, at least. I don't like chorus as much, or you know, phaser, flanger. I don't think those are as useful, but the delay is actually kind of useful. So anyways, that's the Maxon AD9 analog delay. So yeah, it's basically just a vintage reissue of the old Ibanez AD9. Not the current one, but the vintage Ibanez AD9 uses the same components and stuff, including the vintage Panasonic Bucket Brigade delay chips. So it's really got the same materials and components. So yeah, pretty much is that vintage delay pedal, which a lot of people like, and it's pretty much just as highly regarded as the Boss DM2 back then. So yeah, I would say it's just as legendary, just as beloved as the Boss DM2. Similar. I do also think it's more useful than the tremolo and vibrato effects too. So anyways, I think out of all the modulation effects, delay is probably the most useful for me. And that's if you don't count reverb. If you do count reverb, I think reverb is the most useful, followed by delay. So that's it, guys. Maxon AD9, let me know if you guys have any questions, and if you prefer this delay, or if you prefer the Boss DM2, or 2W, or MXR Carbon Copy, or something else. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, thanks for watching.